Hi guys, this is Simon from Serious Wheels. Today we're reviewing the BMW R1250 GS Adventure. I've had this bike for about 6 months now. Let me tell you what I love about this bike and some things that I don't. The first thing you'll notice when you see this bike is its size. This is a big bike. You get plenty of road presence and other people can see you really clearly. Now, along with the size comes the weight. This is a pretty heavy bike, 268 kilos to be exact. Means you have to be a really confident bike handler, particularly at slow speeds. When the speeds pick up to anything above a walking pace, the bike is really stable and easy to handle, due to the way the boxer engine carries its weight low on the bike. Now, this bike is an engineering marvel. New for this year is the shift cam boxer engine, which is super smooth and provides more power and torque all the way through the rev range. There's also plenty of electronics to keep your ride safe and enjoyable, including cornering ABS, traction control, electronic suspension adjustment, and different riding modes. The riding modes mainly control the throttle response, but also the traction control and the ABS levels. My favorite is the dynamic riding mode, which gives the bike a really responsive and sporty feel. So what's this bike like to ride? Well, the handling is very stable and smooth, if not a little bit on the conservative side. The engine pulls smoothly and consistently, all the way from 2000 RPM to its red line. And the TFT is clear and really easy to read. All this makes the bike really precise, polished and civilized to ride. So who is this bike for? Well, this bike is for someone who rides in a more relaxed manner and who appreciates the safety, the comfortable riding position and the versatility of the bike, particularly on longer rides where these things become more important. There are a couple of things which I think can be improved on this bike. The first one is the electronic suspension. Now, for people who don't know, this is about setting up the sag of the motorcycle under the rider's weight. Everyone pretty much rides the bike using the auto sag feature, because the other two, the minimum and the maximum, are on the extreme ends of the scale and are not very usable, especially for road riding. Now, whilst there is an acceptable level range of sag for a motorcycle, everyone perceives the road a little bit differently and rides the bike a little bit differently. So it'd be nice to have a little bit more finer adjustment of this suspension, as well as offer independent front and rear adjustments so that the users can get the most out of the electronic suspension. Now, the second point is probably something I'm going to cop a little bit of flack for, but I need to say it anyway. The way this bike goes about its business is very smooth, very efficient and refined. However, after owning it for about 6 months, I'm finding that it's lacking a little bit of emotion and excitement that another bike would most likely bring. So I'm going to take you through some of the accessories and mods that I've made for the bike and why I've made them. Starting at the front here, you'll see the touring windscreen. Now, at my height of 6 foot, with the standard BMW windscreen, I was finding that even in its highest position, at highway speeds, I was getting quite a bit of wind noise. So this really helps with that. Something to note though, is if you do get something like this, you'll need to also purchase the windscreen stabilizer here, just because of that extra force that the wind is having on the windscreen. Moving along here, I've actually bought some easy grip tank pads just to give my legs a little bit more grip on the fuel tank, as it is quite a wide fuel tank, and this works both sitting down and standing up. You'll notice that I'm not running panniers, and in fact I've actually removed the pannier racks just to give the bike a little bit more of a streamlined look. I'm running the GV top box here, and I chose that over the standard BMW one because it provides a little bit more storage and allows you to fit your full face helmet inside. Now last but not least is the Akrapovic end can, which gives the exhaust a louder and a deeper tone, particularly at mid-range and under load. So that's my review of the BMW R1250 GS Adventure. I hope you enjoyed it, and a little surprise, I've just bought a new bike, so I'll be reviewing that very shortly. Stay tuned.